Yes, 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 I stole this from Ryan Bruce's channel. Oh well, you know, he's been doing a few. I really like the idea, and I have tons of my own horror stories that I want to tell myself. So here we are. And before we jump into it, make sure that you're already subscribed, like the video, and let me know some of your horrible, horrible tour stories that you'd like to share as well. Let's jump in. So this was the first stop of the tour, and we get there on a Tuesday, which is actually super important. So keep that in mind. We got there on a Tuesday show, Tuesday. All is well, everybody's happy, and then just immediately it kind of starts on a sour note. It's not a great sign when you roll up to a venue at 4 or 5 p.m. and they're just now putting the marquee up. And I know it's not like the biggest thing, but it's kind of just like the foreshadowing of things to come. But everything's fine. You know, we start loading in gear, get it on the stage to sound check, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go check out the green room. Not that a venue's kitchen really means anything, but I'm not joking. The walls were literally burnt. Like the stove is right here, and then there's just this plume of like brown, burnt orange wall all above it. Again, this doesn't mean that it's a bad venue, but I feel like it's foreshadowing the burn to come. And I'm not talking about STDs. And after we load all the gear on and we're getting semi-close to being ready to sound check, I noticed a member having a conversation with the venue owner and promoter, who we will call Bob. And it turns out, Bob kind of f***ed up. And no, this isn't a case of just bands whining about promoters all the time, but I guess I am about to whine about this promoter. There's part of our rider that stipulates that there shouldn't be any massive festivals or arena shows happening in the same genre on the date that we're coming into town, because it can drastically affect your draw. And I can't say that I'm familiar enough with touring to know if that's like standard procedure or not. I just know that was something that happened in this situation, and it was very clear in the agreement. But it turns out Bob forgot to tell us that there was an arena show of the exact same genre happening 20 minutes down the road, and he's actually known about it for well over a week, which I'm sure was, he actually knew more than a week, and he just forgot to tell us. Hey, dude, I think it's kind of a bit unfair for you to be leaning into him so hard on this just forgetting something. I mean, you're not immune to it. Remember that time that you forgot to respond to that production email, sitting there for 5 days straight? Like, come on, give Bob a break, man. Besides, John, you know, I would totally agree if that was it, but the thing is, it wasn't, and that's when I started to get mad. Mr. Bob tells us that on top of the concert down the way, he's never even open on Tuesdays. Remember this clip from before? We get there on a Tuesday, which is actually super important, so keep that in mind. What? Why would you throw a show? That means that literally 0 people are gonna come that are regulars of the venue because they don't even think you're open. Okay, Fury John, calm down, calm down, calm down. Sometimes it's just, that's how it works. With the routing that the agent has set up, the shows he's already got in place, you know, sometimes it just can't be perfect. Coordinating is really difficult. Yeah, I agree. I know that sometimes there's going to be, and there will always be, shows that are more just filler to get you from point A to point B. It's better to just play the show instead of having no cash. So yes, I can understand. But it gets worse! Because after all this, he tells us he didn't even book a single local band until yesterday! Yesterday? You wanna know why? Because no band would take the frickin' show with the arena thing happening down the road! Yeah, I mean, that's pretty disgusting. Congrats, Bob! You win the award for the biggest shit stain of May. I'm sorry, I get so worked up when I talk about idiots. Smooth and sexy John, can you take it from here? I need to go lie down. So yeah, not a good start. And an even worse ending. Doors open and naturally nobody comes. The small handful of people that we did have that were supposed to pull and come for the night told us that they were busy, and we were able to lurk them up and find out that they were in fact going to that show. You know, and I get it, because at the end of the day, this is a massive band, and you know, they're kind of at that point where it's like, I don't know if they're gonna tour again. It may not be a thing. So I get it, you wanna go see them and not us. Totally understand. So I'm not pitting any of this on the people that went to go see them. So we had this empty room for about an hour, and the local band hasn't shown up yet, and they were supposed to start playing. And at this point, we had really even contemplated whether it was worth the hassle, because it was literally Bob, the bartender, 2 people that Bob had like texted and begged to come so there wouldn't be a totally empty room, and us. And it's not that we were above playing to an empty room. It's not no kind of ego thing. I've played to empty rooms many times on tour and have definitely been humbled by it. And I understand that sometimes it just happens. But for us, it has to do with the fact that this evening should have never happened at all. So shutting the night down early would not only save us hours of time, but it would save Bob hours of time, save him from paying his bartender, who was literally not selling a single drink. Of course. And as the conversation started to develop, the local band finally showed up and they started loading in. So I kind of told them to stop and hold on, because I wasn't directly in the conversation, but I was close enough, again, because we were in an empty room at an empty venue, close enough to hear it. And they had reached a smooth, kind of happy ending of an agreement, which was this. Bob recognized that he had broken the contract for booking us on that date. Yes, because of the arena show, but on top of that, he admitted that he was kind of lying through omission because of all the local bands that he could not get to play, many had admitted that they wouldn't take it with the festival happening down the road, so he knew and he just neglected to tell us because he was scared. To make up for it, he said that he would just pay us, we didn't have to play, we could just tear down and call it a night. Hooray, we did it, yay, happy ending! Oh, wait, no. We tear our gear off the stage and we pack it down, and as soon as we have everything in its cases, of course, he says that he's not going to pay us because we didn't play. So, yeah, that's irritating. At this point, I had decided it was best to let the main members of the band handle this, and I will just politely and quietly move gear out. And as I'm doing so, every trip back into the venue to grab a piece of gear, I feel like I'm entering a slightly different and darker universe. Each time I can feel the air getting hotter, the voices getting more tense, and I can feel the steam coming out of the band members' skin as they just run in absolute circles with Bob. So what am I to do in this situation? Because I wasn't a formal member, and I was also fairly new to this environment, so I just kind of thought, all right, I'm just gonna let it happen. I just waited outside next to the trailer, just listening to the beautiful symphony of threats, insults, and more threats. I'm not kidding when I say that I was sitting outside of the venue for over an hour just in awe of what was happening inside. But alas, we got our money, and all it took was us threatening to report them to the health people, some kind of like food health service, cleanliness place about the state of their kitchen, in order for us to get our money. So yeah, that was probably one of my worst gigs. And I've got plenty more with tons of different things that have happened, and if you'd like to see them, let me know in the comments. I can't believe that you made it through this video. That's super, super cool. If you aren't yet, you better be subscribed because you definitely like what I'm doing. I've got all these cool videos popping up around me of cool stuff to watch. That button on my face, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you've liked the video, and also sharing this with people is super, super helpful. Make sure to do so. I don't know how much time I have left on my outro card. I just want to love you. Bye, 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 bye.